One Van Mieux, built in 1070 under the Lai dynasty, is a national relic that honors Confucius and promotes Vietnam's respect for education. Quoc Tu Giam, founded in 1076, was Vietnam's first national university, training talented individuals from royal and common backgrounds for over 700 years. Key relics include the Stele of Doctors, which commemorates top scholars, and the Cue Van Pavilion, a symbol of Hanoi. Recognized as a special national relic in 2012, the complex has two main areas, Ngoai Tu, outer area, and Noi Tu, inner area. 2. The outer area of Van Mieux features the four pillars and two Ha-Ma steles. The four pillars represent traditional Vietnamese architecture, with two middle pillars being taller, creating three entrances. The pillars symbolize yin and yang and are adorned with Ng-He, sacred animals, and phoenixes, representing heaven's protection. The Ha-Ma steles, located on either side, remind all visitors, from royalty to commoners, to dismount their horses or palanquins as a sign of respect before entering Van Mieux. 3. The Van Mieux portico serves as the entrance to the first section of the inner area. Built with a double-story, three-entrance design, it includes a main entrance for kings and mandarins, while students and ordinary people used the two side entrances. Decorative stone dragons from the Lei and Nguyen dynasties symbolize tradition, while reliefs of a transforming carp and a descending tiger represent academic success and intellectual strength, respectively. 4. The Nap Dao section, meaning entering the way, is the first part of the inner area, where students learned respect and virtue before acquiring knowledge. Built during the Nguyen dynasty, this section is symmetrical, with a central road named Huang Dao, the Great and Lucky Way, reserved for kings and mandarins, and side paths called Lin Dao for students and ordinary people. The garden features two lakes and trees, creating a peaceful, harmonious atmosphere. 6. You are now at the Dai Trung Gate, Great Middle Gate. It has three sections, the central gate, Dai Trung, flanked by the Tan Duc, accomplished virtue, and Dat Tai, attained talent gates, emphasizing the balance of virtue and talent. 7. The area has two symmetrical lakes surrounded by green trees, creating a calm and peaceful atmosphere that reflects the success gained from nurturing both virtue and talent. 8. In front of you is the Cue Van Pavilion, Constellation of Literature Pavilion. Built in 1805 by Nguyen Van Tan, it features an open lower floor with four pillars and a wooden upper floor with a double-pitched roof. The pavilion is decorated with terracotta and has four circular windows symbolizing the Cue constellation. A red lacquered board with Cue Van Kak hangs above, named after a bright constellation in the Milky Way and representing literary excellence. Central node, Cue Van Pavilion. Historian Le Van Lan says the pavilion's design symbolizes humility, clarity, and refinement. Its elements reflect nature's balance: the square base, earth; the tower, sky; the breezeway, wind; and the pool, yin. It was chosen as a symbol for the 1000th anniversary of Thang Long Hanoi, representing literary tradition. 9. A central feature, this square well reflects sunlight, illuminating the garden and symbolizing the radiance of the Cue constellation. 2 rows of stelae flank the well. There are 82 stelae in total, with 41 on each side. These stelae were erected between 1484 and 1780 to honor the top scholars of Vietnam's imperial examinations. Artistic and cultural value. Each stele is crafted from stone and rests on a tortoise base, symbolizing longevity. The inscriptions and designs reflect historical artistic styles and moral teachings. 13. The gate has 3 compartments supported by 2 rows of pillars. The wooden doors are carved with dragons and clouds, and a central board reads Dai Tan Mon, Gate of Great Success. Built in 1070 and repaired in 1888. 14. Here you'll see 2 single-story buildings on each side of a large square, connected by 2 pavilions to the north. The front pavilion, Bai Duong, Great Hall of Ceremony, has 2 matching dragons on the roof. Behind it is the Dai Tan Sanctuary, High Sanctuary, which has altars for Confucius, his 4 main students, and 10 respected scholars. 16. Dear visitors, you are now at the Dai Tan Sanctuary, the main hall dedicated to Confucius, his 4 disciples, and 10 sages. In the center is the statue of Confucius, with Nan Hoi and Tu Tu to the east, and Tang Tu and Man Tu to the west. The side compartments have stone tablets of sages representing various fields. Confucius, 551–479 BC, was a renowned thinker and educator. He compiled and revised the Confucian classics, which include the books of odes, history, rites, music, change, and spring and autumn. His philosophy, especially the concept of Ren, humanity and benevolence, continues to influence Asia today. 17. Kwok Tu Jam, which existed for over 700 years, 1076 to 1802, trained thousands of scholars who contributed to the development of Dai Viet. It remains a key symbol of Vietnam's educational history. 18. The history of Kwok Tu Giam was established in 1076 during the reign of King Linhan Tong as an educational center for the king's children, the royal family, and literary mandarins. Under the Tran dynasty, in 1236, it was renamed Kwok Tu Vien. In 1253, King Tran Tai Tong founded Kwok Hoc Vien and invited Confucian scholars to teach the 4 books and 5 classics, the fundamental texts of Confucianism. During the early Li dynasty, King La Tai Tu, 1428, selected descendants of mandarins and outstanding civilians to study at Kwok Tu Giam, known as Giam students. In 1483, King La Tan Tong restored and expanded the Tai Hoc Academy within Van Mieux, Kwok Tu Giam. The academy featured the Min Luan Hall for poetry and literature discussions, classrooms in the east and west wings, and a storage area for wooden printing blocks of Confucian texts. Additionally, the campus included Tam Sha, 3 rows of houses, with 25 rooms on each side, each accommodating 2 students. Giam students were carefully selected based on their performance in the Hoi examinations. Top rank passed 3 out of 4 exams, middle rank passed 2 out of 4 exams, lower rank passed 1 out of 4 exams. Each rank had 100 students, and monthly subsidies known as oil, lamp, rice, and salt money were provided. Initially, all students received the same amount of 9 tien per month. Later, top-ranked students received 10 tien, middle-ranked 9 tien, and lower-ranked 8 tien. 19. Regulations of the Giam School, 1460–1497. The Giam School was renowned for its strict rules to maintain discipline and educational quality. Students wishing to stay overnight outside or take 1–2 days off were required to seek prior approval. Violations incurred escalating punishments: monetary fines, 140 paper coins for the first offense, 200 for the second, physical punishment, 50 lashes for the third, interrogation at the Ministry of Justice, 4th offense, and mandatory military service, 5th offense. Wealthy students from the capital could live at home, but were required to have private rooms at the school to attend daily studies. The curriculum focused on self-study, with regular monthly tests and periodic major exams. Outstanding essays were selected by lecturers for public reading or presentation in class. In addition to official students, the school attracted many Confucian scholars from across the country who audited lectures and practiced writing after registering their names. The annual student count averaged around 300, but could rise due to the large number of auditors. These regulations reflect the strict discipline and rigorous academic environment of this prestigious institution. 20. Vietnam's traditional examination system aimed to select talented individuals for government service. The process began with the Huang exam, held regionally, to assess candidates on Confucian knowledge, administrative skills, and essay writing. Those who passed were qualified for the Hoi exam at the national level, which focused on similar content but at a higher standard. Finally, the Din exam, held in the royal court, determined the highest-ranking laureates. These titles included Trang Nguyen for the top rank, followed by Bang Nan and Tam Hoa. Examinations were open to all Confucian scholars regardless of age or background, except for certain groups like those in mourning or with criminal records. This system emphasized fairness and intellectual achievement, shaping Vietnam's governance and educational values for centuries. 21. You are standing in front of the Tien Duong in the Tai Hoc section. The Tien Duong has 9 compartments with 40 ironwood pillars. The wall is built of brick without plaster. The front and back of wall and third compartments are mullioned doors, door with parallel vertical bar, baluster windows leading to Hao Duong, rear building. Especially the pillars of Tien Duong are larger and taller than the ones of the Bai Duong. Tien Duong is connected to Hao Duong by a short path with 2 doors leading to the Nha Chuang and the Nha Trong on either side. At present, Tien Duong is the place to organize cultural and scientific activities such as scientific seminars, honoring excellent students, cultural exhibitions, and national art performance. 22. The ground floor has 9 compartments and 2 smaller sections, with 72 ironwood pillars. The 2 side walls are made of brick without plaster. The front features traditional mullioned doors on a stone base. The back wall, the 3rd compartment, and the front of the 7th compartment have mullioned windows. The ground floor is used to display exhibits on the history of Van Miếu, Quoc Tu Giam, and Confucian education in feudal Vietnam. In the center there is a statue of Chu Van An, the principal of Quoc Tu Giam. 23. Biography. Born in 1292 in Tin Liet, he earned a doctoral degree during the Tran dynasty. Rather than become a mandarin, he established a school in his hometown, teaching Confucian principles to influential students like Pham Suman and Le Baquat. Reputation. Renowned for his integrity, Chu Van An commanded deep respect from his students, who would kneel in his presence. He was known for his strict standards, refusing entry to students with poor conduct. Royal appointment. King Tran Min Tong invited him to the capital to educate the crown prince and appointed him principal of Quoc Tu Giam, where he oversaw training and ceremonies at Van Mieux. 27. King Li Tan Tong statue. Contributions. In 1070 he ordered the construction of Van Mieux to honor Confucius and sent the crown prince there for education. 28. King Li Nan Tong statue. In 1075 he established Vietnam's first examinations, the Min Kin Bak Hoc, and set up Quoc Tu Giam in 1076, foundational to the nation's educational system. 29. King La Than Tong statue. He renovated Van Mieux in 1463, expanded Quoc Tu Giam, and initiated the erection of Dr. Stelae in 1484, honoring graduates and establishing regular doctoral examinations every 3 years.